Hey there, how's it going? It's me, Commandant Franz. I've mentioned gypsies to people, only for these people to tell me they're not called gypsies, they're called Roma. Yes, they are called Roma. In a certain gypsy language. Mind you, they speak different languages. I know in Spain and I think Portugal they're called Calais because they speak Calo, and probably in other places they speak other languages and they call themselves different things. But in a certain gypsy language, gypsies are called Roma. But in English, they're called gypsies, not Roma. So why is it that people correct you like this? Because people don't correct you when you call Germans Germans rather than Deutsch. Well, it's because I think at some point, some gypsies got together and they said, we want to be called Roma, not gypsies. Now, you might think, okay, sure, why not just call them that then? Why not just respect that they want to be called that way? And to some extent, I would agree with that argument. You know, I respect it when people say that they want to be called they, them. But that's different because wanting to be called they, them is a thing where it's, oh, I don't like being, say, a man. I like being non-binary. So I'd just like you to call me they. Okay, cool. That's respectable. But it's another thing when people are like, you're not allowed to call me whatever you call me in your language. You have to call me by what I'm called in my language. That's so obnoxious. Do they do it because they want to get righteously angry at people for being racist to them? I don't know. I don't know why they would say this. Do they do this because their language is superior? Do they do this because they don't realize that endonyms and exonyms exist? I don't know. I don't know why they do it. And there's some Laps who do this too. Laps, the Laplanders. Some of them say, we're not called Laps, we're called Sami. Sure, in your own language. In English, you're called Laplanders or Laps. Deal with it. That's what you're called in another language. There's no derogatory meaning to any of these. Like, sure, people, are racist towards gypsies, sure. And when they're being racist towards gypsies, they use the word gypsy. But people who are being racist towards, say, Africans use the word African. And that doesn't mean that the word African is derogatory. Now, a similar thing also exists with Jews, where you hear people say that you shouldn't call them Jews, you should call them Jewish people. Now, this is a bit more understandable because I think the idea with this is that all the racist people, they don't say, ooh, I hate Jewish people, they say, I hate Jews. So since racist people do it, you shouldn't do it. But there's also plenty of non-racist people who say Jews. It's not like blacks, where only racist people say blacks. Everybody who's not racist says black people. With Jews, that's not the case. Jews is a perfectly acceptable term for these people. But for some reason, someone decides, no, they're Jewish people. Like, do you not realize that for certain groups of people, the naming conventions are different? Like for Americans, for example, there's just the adjective, and the adjective American, something is American, is also used to describe one of that people. He is an American. But there's some things, like Jews, where there's a word for a person and there's an adjective. Jewish is an adjective that describes things that are Jewish, and Jew is a Jew. A Jew is a Jewish person. Same with a lot of Balkan countries. There's Bosniaks who are Bosnian people. There's Croats who are Croatian people. And lots of other countries. So it's really stupid when people try to argue that no, that's not what they're called. They're called this thing. No, that's not what they're called. And I'm not going to be bullied into calling them that way.